G'day guys, it's Calvin from the Cartoon Company in New Zealand. But I finished being a farmer for the day. My brother's having his eyes operated on, so I'm feeding cows in the morning. And it's time to work on this ute that's turned up. And the funny thing is, I've seen this ute before, and the last time I worked on it I said it had wiring issues. And we're going to test today to see if it's still got wiring issues. Though I think it's got some new issues to go along with the other wiring issues as well. So we have in front of us a 2000 Hilux, started with it as a diesel. And it was built by a motorcycle mechanic in Auckland, New Zealand here. This was his second attempt at building one of these. He built one and then he sold it and then he did this one. It's running UCF 20 standard management, and you can see we're going to need to put a connector on there, or it might have been glued on. Straight away we can see that's broken. Yeah, I see what you mean by the mud in the clutch. It might need a big master cylinder. That might be another issue.
Yeah, you see it needs adjustment or...
Yeah, it'll need a master. How many times has this guy owned it? He's owned it twice and his brother's owned it 3 times?
No, his brother owned it. This is the 3rd time the brother's owned it.
3 times. Brother's owned this one 3 times.
Yeah.
Awesome. You must like it.
Yeah, it's been in Wellington and back and all over the place.
So it's been around, this ute. Our brief is to improve the idle. I slipped the handbrake off and then it rolled backwards, so we've got the wooden handbrake. Oh, I slipped it out of gear, yes. Right. And what I think's really interesting, oh, and an oil light. It's got the permanent oil light even when it's running. And you see there, no idle up. And hey, it turned straight off that time. So fix this first and fix this idle. Those are my first two things. I actually have a list of other things that he's given me to look at. It sounds quite nasty, doesn't it? Woo. It always went very, very well. And I think he's going to attempt to make it up to be a really nice ute again. Oh, fan. The fan goes all the time. Oh, that's what it does. Okay, let's have a look here. So it's running. That switches on and it winds itself down. It is back feeding through that fan, eh, Jace? That's fan on. That's fan off. Did you see that? So electric fan is on there. I can hear the fan running. And I'm going to turn the key off. Here's the key. And watch the dash lights. And they're just winding down. And the fan inside the vehicle, the heater fan, still keeps going. Alright, my first test, battery negative into plus B on the diagnostic box there. And that's DLC1. I'm going to start, I'm going to turn the key on. I'm going to turn the fan off. We'll get it nice and close, shall we? I'm going to start the ute. And turn the ute off. Turns off immediately. So that shows that it still hasn't been rectified. The problem I diagnosed years ago still exists. They're never going to idle properly until they're wired properly. Really simple. So I need to go in here behind the dashboard. And there's our ECU, mounted pretty poorly. It's possibly a little bit damp in there too. So a pretty normal Celsius ECU. I've got some work to do. I'm going to fix this problem, do some wiring. If I come across some highlights that need to be looked at, we'll do a couple of updates, shall we? But let's me get in here and see what I need to do. So I'm continuing with this white ute. I had to move it today, so we've got access to the workshop. Yeah, the clutch isn't nice. The brakes aren't very nice. And it stalls when it's cold. Someone really should fix that. Stalling when it's cold. Oh, that's my job, eh?
No, isn't it fucking want to be, because it wasn't idling very well either.
That's why it's here.
Yeah. Okay.
The not idling and not idling when it's cold.
Okay, I don't know.
And so I just did a little video, you might want to go watch it, on extracting an engine check light when you don't have an engine check light on your dash. And I just did it straight from the ECU. And the ECU out of the vehicle didn't give me a check light. So we have it on the bench. That was a sign that something was up. And if I go inside, in this area here, there is considerable damage. And the wiring was actually worse than I expected. It's meant to have a permanent battery power. It has that. It's meant to get an ignition switch. I didn't actually check that, but it already had powered up the ECU. So the ECU effectively is actually powered up at all times. So if I was to bench test the ECU, I can just bridge the one, put it into the one pin, and it works. And that's how this one's wired. So for however long this ute's been around, that ECU has been powered up the whole time. And I suspect they're just shutting it off by coils and injectors turning off, which we will confirm soon. I've unplugged some injectors. They're the standard, don't have any clips on them. So we're going to look at sorting out some of that stuff as well. Okay, we've got a relay here. Big power wire. And this green black wire. Then it heads off that way. Could well be fuel pump, maybe. And we've got more relays here. Inline fuses. And then in this corner, we got this stuff, which is kind of interesting. Then I'm digging in here. Had a bit of a talk to the customer. We kind of got a bit of an idea. We're still formulating a plan. But, right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut these. Oh, actually I might be able to unpick that because they only go to there. But anything, if they disappear off, I'll put a plug on it so I can remove it and then put it back on and assess it later on. Here's permanent battery power, which goes to, this is the fuel pump relay, and then they've bridged it so on the switch side it's always powered up again, so there's always power basically flowing back through that to the ECU. Yet again another fault in the wiring. It's escalated a little bit.
I think it's called corner windows like Jake does.
I don't actually think that. I think what they've done is they've de-loomed the engine bay a little bit and pulled it out of the engine bay. So it's ended up in here and become long. Though, from some cutting. So I actually think this one is from the key, I think, for the fans. Turn the key on.
Key on?
Yep.
On.
And there's our power. Turn the key off.
Key is off.
So that big wire there is from
The ignition.
the ignition, and then key on and turn the fans on.
Key on, fans on.
Cool. And then what I want to do, I'm going to go into this wire here. Turn the key off. See how it back feeds? So as the fans are running, right, they become like an alternator.
Really?
Yeah, because it's an electric motor.
And they're making power.
They're making power, so it back feeds through the fans. So turn it on again. I'll show it again, eh? Okay, you watching?
Yeah.
Now turn it off.
Oh yeah. So as the fan goes, woo, the current goes. Woo.
And you'll notice your dash lights. Your dash lights dim down. Do we watch the dash lights?
Yeah. Okay, I don't have enough dash lights.
But they dim down. The alternator light and the oil light. They both dim to nothing.
I've got no wheel light.
I will push the button on the
Oh,
alarm button.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fob. Okay, there we go.
Now try.
Okay, here we
And you
go.
watch they dim down.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, they die slowly.
Yeah, so that's your back feed there. This relay here is still a little bit of a mystery for me. And what have we got over that side?
We've
Oh, we've got relays.
no, we've got another inline fuse.
Oh, no relays, no way.
No
So it's
relay.
just fuses tapped into the ignition. Oh yeah, there's our, so that was for the lights. That's for your dimmer.
Yep.
Okay, I've got extra for fun.
Yeah, for fun.
And then this stuff is,
And you got one of these things going on too. This thing.
so some of this is alarm.
And what is that?
I don't know. No, I don't know. Right at the moment, we're looking at solving this problem. And we've got an oil light that's on all the time too. Have we got an oil light still?
Yep.
Okay, so we've still got an oil light. Can I'm going to unplug the sender unit. And while I'm thinking about that problem, and I'm thinking about that problem, I'm going to do something else. Have we got an oil light?
Yes.
Beg your pardon?
Yes.
What are you talking about? I've just unplugged the sender unit that controls the oil light.
Okay, let's just go like this.
It won't make any difference.
Okay.
So somewhere in that wiring, there's a short because it's not attached to the sensor. Got to solve that too. Good. Okay.
Goes up, goes up.
I don't even know where that one goes. Okay. Just there, right?
Yes.
And then it's got this loom here, this little added loom. Runs across here,
Okay.
runs along here, and then just down there, it scrapes on the alternator pulley.
Holy moly.
And then it comes across to here, and it plugs in here.
Oh yeah.
But if I go down here, well, you can't quite see it, but it's actually rubbing on the alternator pulley.
And that's why it's got short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that another dwarf joke?
No, no. Hey, I don't play like that, man. Dude.
Righto. That's cool.
How did you manage to find that?
Well, I unplugged it down here,
Yeah. And
still had a light,
Traced it
and then I
back
traced it along here and I unplugged it
Yeah.
there, and the light went away.
Yeah.
So it meant it was from there,
to there. Yeah.
but when I plugged it back in, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
which is-
didn't
that's
work.
when you get
And then I was moving it, and
Yeah.
you were going, yes, it's on, no, it's off.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's on, no, it's off. It's kind of points towards that area.
Yeah.
Coolness. Woo! Feeling stretchy free. It's basic. You want me to explain how they've done it? I've got it. I've got it.
Go. If you're going to do it for the camera, you might as well do it for me.
Okay. Okay, so what we did, how not to wire a 1UZ. This is the fan relay, okay? So we're good with that. Then we put in this relay with permanent battery power. There, permanent power. And then there is a chance at some point somebody's actually moved some stuff around and put the wires wrong, because it would be better if this one was actually there. So this one is permanent battery power, and this is permanent battery power. So this is permanent battery power that goes off here, which went over to the fan relay. Are you confused?
So that's not the fan relay?
Oh, sorry, fuel pump relay. This is the fuel
yeah,
pump
okay.
relay. This is the fuel pump relay. That's
Yep.
main power, permanent battery power
Holy moly.
via this wire, tapped into this wire.
fuck.
And then this wire here comes up, and then it goes to this red black wire. And it comes along with this red black wire.
Shouldn't that fuel pump be on its own feet?
It's fine to be on a battery, on a permanent power. That's fine, and it is fused. So that, and then we come into this setup. Wait.
Oh, is that the old 2 into 26? Is it? Oh yes.
And we're just going to unwrap this.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
We're unwrapping it live on. There we go.
Oh, this is unboxing, eh?
Yeah, it's like unboxing lube. I'm going to have to use the razor blade.
Delicately, of course.
Absolutely.
Oh dear.
Okay, so we've got.
Oh dear.
And see this. So these two.
That blue one turns into a brown wire.
Wait, that's got to come. Oh, that's worse than I thought.
Thank you.
So that's the ignition, 2 ignition wires. So that's MREL and ignition. So that's wrong, which we already know. But and then we've got this blue wire here, which of course comes back, and it's tapped into this brown wire and back to here, and then into this wire over here. Okay, so that's for the main ECU power supply is there. Okay, so they're trying to use that like as a switch as well, but somehow that's like a permanent feed now.
Damn.
So that's not correct, and you don't need any of these wires. And you just tape them in like we showed you. You just tape them in. Okay, so that's definitely good.
And you don't need any of these wires.
You just cut them off.
Yeah,
So what you do is
you leave them dangling.
The transmission loom is still fitted to this loom out in the engine bay.
Okay.
So that's lots of transmission stuff.
Yes.
And then this green wire, one of these green wires is a starter.
How much
Okay,
do
this
you
is
pay for this?
This is starter motor. Okay, and then this one, when your key gets turned on, it powers up this one, which powers up coils, injectors, and the other components of the engine right there. And it's, yeah, so those are like the stepper motor and the ignite and the airflow meter is those white wires, like on that white Celsius. Yeah. That's those ones. So that's how that's all powered up, which is all pretty much wrong.
Well, just look at it. Can you see what I'm seeing?
Yeah, and then we've actually got this one. I think that's water temp. So water temp is that's water temp working there.
Yep, yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
And this one, I'm not sure what this pink. Oh, that'll be taco. That'll be the taco wire.
Should we see how good these connections are?
And no, I don't want to. I don't want to look.
I do.
Oh, it feels like this. That feels like they're soldered.
Sorry.
Certed 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So down there's a transmission loom. The factory auto transmission loom.
Like we can see it.
I can feel it down there.
Oh yeah.
Through the mud.
Yep.
Oh. Purge is a permanent leak. Oh. You actually know it's held with tape. Tapes need to block that from working.
That works. Oh, he's had some throttle body work.
Oh, look, you'll see here. See again, won't idle, so let's just wind the throttle stop,
Ooh,
which is the wrong one.
Don't touch that.
That's the wrong one to wind all the way up, yet again.
Isn't the other one back there?
Yeah, it's down here.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct, you're learning.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Non-traction control engine, so... oh.
This is a Gen 2, eh?
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Round
Yes.
fuel rails.
Yep.
Cast fuel rails.
Yeah.
I reckon we just lift the loom out. I hook that transmission loom out quickly. We do a couple of mods in there. I pull extra wires out. Put a standard ECU back in it. Cool it good actually. Or I put that G3 in it. I got a G3 with G4 software coming.
Ooh. Just G4, just stock G4. No.
Yeah, it's a G3.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's had the G4 upgrade,
Yeah.
software upgrade.
Yeah. So not a Storm.
No,
No.
pre-Storm.
Yeah.
G3.
Okay.
G3 was no, they went G4 with Storm.
Yes.
Jace, what do you reckon?
This guy's
Then
got,
it's a tunable ECU rather than
this guy's got a sweet radiator though, eh?
the oil light problem. It's probably the alternator. Oh, the power steering actually, sorry. I think it's the power steer is causing the problem with the oil light.
Okay.
The pulley's rubbing on the wire. So it must be a power steer problem. Jay, jack it up. We're pulling the loom out. Here. And it goes to there. And then it goes over there. And it goes across here. Is this one? To here. To down there. To down there. And then it goes down the tunnel. Back to under there. That's the shortest way to get to the reverse lights. So it starts over there, goes across the dash, through the firewall, back across the firewall, and then down to the reverse lights.
Cool.
And it'll have a cable speedo in it.
It does.
It does? Yeah.
Wow.
So Shay, intake manifold, no, take the throttle body off. You might want to take the intake manifold off as the plenum off, probably make it easier.
Okay.
This is tomorrow, do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And lift the wiring loom out. The igniters are up here,
Oh yes.
so you probably have to take this bottle out of the way.
Okay.
Intake off, top off, lift the main wiring loom out.
Okay.
Top of the motor, not the real top.
And then we'll pull it out through the firewall,
Yeah.
out it comes.
Okay.
And the gearbox loom and the reverse wiring, reverse wiring,
So I gotta unplug it at the gearbox, eh? Okay.
it's not actually attached, man.
Oh.
There's a transmission loom down there, but it ain't attached.
Oh, so
The only one that's wired is this, see this wire here?
yeah.
And you're taking that as well.
Yeah.
The reverse lights, which are down there. So take that as well.
So I'm gonna take all the wiring out from the reverse lights all the way up.
What the?
They've put like a locky thing in there.
Lucky.
Because it used to be,
They have one of those firewall things like the.
yeah, but wouldn't they normally have studs?
Okay. Oh, catch.
Gravity's working.
Gravity's working. Watch the engine bay paint, eh?
They've got that grommet all the way in there, Jace.
Woo! Oops.
Oh, careful. Oh, that's because they've done stuff. Is that plastic?
No, that's steel.
That's rusty as fuck.
That's the outer.
Where's and have it? Check. Oh.
Oh, that's terrible.
Here you go, Jace. There's more to come.
Whoa!
Like it's giving birth.
Holy moly! Jason's like one of those farmers.
Oh,
Jason's like one of those farmers that's
don't take
like
that. Don't take the heat of wiring. We don't want the heat of wiring. Put the heat of wiring back in.
that's like the other side of the umbilical cord, eh? Like.
Awesome. There you go.
Just threw up.
Damn, bro. Alright, so I got the rest.
Ah, it's broken anyway.
Yeah. There you go. Take that bits.
Yeah.
It's a job for tomorrow.
Mm.
That's quite sexual there, eh?
Fuck off, that thing's filthy. Yeah.
That's a no then.
Yeah.
And then we've got this extra.
I was going to pull the whole thing out. There's still more in there.
So what did I cut? I wonder what I cut out of this. I can't remember now.
And transloom. Awesome. If you can just fix that for us, that'd be much appreciated.
I'd love to. I would love to.
I can. I can fix it.